A home for Max. In a busy city, there lived a stray dog named Max. Max didn't have a home. He had no family to care for him. Every day, he walked through the streets, looking for food and a place to rest. Max had short brown fur and big, sad eyes. His paws were always dirty because he walked all over the city, hoping that one day he would find a family to love him. People in the city were always busy. They rushed to work, hurried to catch buses, and never had time to stop. Max would sit on the sidewalk, watching everyone. Sometimes people gave him little bits of food, but no one stopped to pet him or take him home. Max often felt lonely. He saw other dogs with their families running in the park, playing with children, and having fun. He wished he could have a family too. But day after day, Max was alone. One cold evening, as Max was searching for a warm place to sleep, he saw a small house with a light shining from the window. He walked up to the house and sat by the door, hoping someone would notice him. Inside the house lived a little girl named Ella. Ella was 8 years old, and she loved animals more than anything in the world. She had always wanted a dog, but her family couldn't afford to take care of one. Ella would often sit by her window and watch the dogs in the neighborhood. She dreamed of having a dog of her own one day. That night, as Ella was getting ready for bed, she heard a soft sound outside her window. She looked outside and saw Max sitting by the door, shivering from the cold. "Mom! Dad, there's a dog outside," Ella called, running to her parents. Her parents came to the window and saw Max sitting there. "Oh, poor thing," her mother said. "He looks so cold. Can we let him inside just for tonight?" Ella begged. "He looks so lonely." Her parents looked at each other and then nodded. "Just for tonight," her father said. "We'll give him some food and let him rest." Ella ran to the door and opened it slowly. Max looked up, his eyes wide and hopeful. He wagged his tail a little, not sure if he was really welcome. But when Ella knelt down and patted his head, Max knew he had found a friend. "Come inside, boy," Ella said gently. "We'll take care of you." Max followed her inside, and for the first time in a long while, he felt warm and safe. Ella's family made a small bed for Max in the corner of the living room. They gave him some food and water, and Max ate happily. His tail wagged as he looked around the warm, cozy house. Ella sat next to him, petting his soft fur. "You're such a good dog," Ella whispered. "I wish you could stay with us forever." Max lay down on the bed, feeling comfortable and loved. He closed his eyes, and for the first time in a long time, he slept peacefully. The next morning, Max woke up to the smell of breakfast. Ella was already awake, sitting by his side. She smiled at him and gave him a small piece of toast. "I hope you had a good sleep," she said. "We're going to find out if you have a family today." Ella's parents had decided to take Max to the animal shelter to see if anyone was looking for him. Ella didn't want to say goodbye, but she knew it was the right thing to do. Maybe Max already had a family that was missing him. They drove to the shelter, and Max sat quietly in the back seat, looking out the window. He didn't know what was going to happen, but he trusted Ella. He felt safe with her. At the shelter, a kind woman greeted them. "Let's see if anyone has reported a missing dog," she said, taking Max's picture. Ella watched nervously as the woman searched the records. After a few minutes, the woman shook her head. "No one has reported a dog like Max missing," she said. "He's probably a stray." Ella's heart skipped a beat. "Does that mean we can keep him?" The woman smiled. "If your family agrees and you're ready to take care of him, Max can be yours." Ella looked at her parents with hopeful eyes. "Please, I'll take care of him. I promise." Her parents smiled and nodded. "Okay, Ella, Max can stay with us." From that day on, Max became part of Ella's family. He had a warm bed, good food, and most importantly, a family who loved him. Ella and Max were inseparable. They played together every day, running through the park and chasing balls. Max loved to follow Ella wherever she went. He became her best friend. Max was a gentle dog. He loved to sit by Ella's side when she did her homework, resting his head on her lap. At night, he would sleep next to her bed, always ready to protect her. Ella's parents were happy too. They saw how much joy Max brought to their home. Even though they had worried about the cost of taking care of a dog, they knew that Max was worth it. He had brought so much happiness into their lives. Max also helped Ella make new friends. When they went to the park, other children would come over to play with Max. Soon, Ella had a group of friends who loved to play with Max too. Max had found his forever home, and Ella had found the best friend she had always dreamed of. One day, something scary happened. Ella and Max were playing in the park when Max suddenly ran off. He saw a squirrel and chased it, running faster and faster. Ella called after him, but Max was too focused on the squirrel to hear her. Max ran out of the park and into the street. Ella's heart raced. "Max, come back," she shouted, but Max kept running. He didn't see the car coming toward him. Ella screamed as the car got closer, but just in time the car stopped. Max stood in the middle of the road, confused and scared. The driver got out of the car and gently led Max back to the sidewalk. "Is this your dog?" the man asked Ella, who was running toward them with tears in her eyes. "Yes, thank you," Ella cried, hugging Max tightly. "You have to be careful, Max. I was so scared." Max licked her face as if to say he was sorry. From that day on, Max never ran away again. He stayed close to Ella, knowing she was the most important person in his life. As the years went by, Max and Ella grew even closer. Max was always there for her, through happy times and sad times. When Ella had a bad day at school, Max would sit next to her and make her feel better. When she was happy, Max was happy too, wagging his tail and running around with joy. Max had become more than just a pet. He was a true friend, always loyal and loving. Ella couldn't imagine her life without him. One summer, Ella's family decided to take a vacation to the beach. Max had never seen the ocean before, and he was so excited. When they arrived, Max ran through the sand, barking happily as the waves crashed onto the shore. Ella laughed as Max splashed in the water. She knew that no matter where they went, as long as Max was with her, she would never feel alone. Max had changed Ella's life in so many ways. He had taught her about love, loyalty, and kindness. Ella was grateful every day that Max had come into her life. Max had also changed the lives of her parents. They had worried at first about taking in a stray dog, but now they couldn't imagine their home without him. Max had brought so much happiness and love into their family. As Max grew older, he started to slow down. He didn't run as fast as he used to, and he preferred to take naps in the sun. But he was still the same gentle, loving dog that Ella had found on that cold night. Max spent the rest of his life with Ella, in the home that had welcomed him with open arms. He had gone from a lonely stray dog to a beloved family member, all because of one little girl's kind heart. Even as Max got older, he remained Ella's best friend. They shared many more adventures, and their bond grew stronger with each passing day. Max had found the love he had always been searching for, and Ella had found the friend she had always dreamed of. Together, they created a home filled with love, laughter, and happy memories that would last a lifetime.